if I could try to just put words and make it succinct, it's confusing because it is so transparent to us that this is nothing but pseudo-intellectualism, and pseudo-intellectualism to forward the most disgusting and nefarious ideologies and thought processes that remain in our society. I mean, we're literally talking about people who need to sound smart in order to justify the most disgusting positions possible, where most of the world, we're trying to fight against the rape culture. They want to philosophize over why rape culture doesn't even exist, when the evidence is quite to the contrary. While most of society is trying to say that there is and has been and remains vestiges of racism that affects our society, you have a group of people who have always been relegated to the dregs. I mean, we've always looked at them as, you're a bumpkin, you are an idiot, you can't even string a coherent sentence together. And so surely there was a space for fake intellectuals like Sargon of Akkad, Paul Joseph Watson, and Milo to rise to the top of the cesspool and take advantage of pseudo-intellectualism in order to give voice to the most disgusting things in our society. While the rest of society is trying to move away from it, they're moving headlong into it. And the bottom line is, whether they believe it or not is completely irrelevant. They're willing to weaponize it and monetize it, because there's a disgruntled group of Americans, and the three people I named aren't even American. They're irrelevant in their nation. So they have to find the idiots in our country who are impressed by British accents. I mean, like, the fuck is that? But they've weaponized it and they monetize it to their benefit and to the detriment of society. So because it's to the detriment of society, and because they're intentionally doing this for profit, and they don't care about the fallacious nature of their arguments, they don't care about the logic and the reason. They're quite honestly, and even though they lift up logic and reason as a justification for what they're doing, but they completely are indifferent to the fallacious nature of their arguments. Because of that, we on the left have just come to the conclusion that, you know what, fuck you. There's no reason for us to have a conversation. There's no reason for us to entertain you. I mean, there's no reason for us to debate you. There's no reason for us to even have this dialogue, because you're not remotely interested you're not remotely interested in what a logical person does. When you find evidence that contradicts your position, you're willing at a minimum to reconsider your position. But each of these people, when they find evidence that contradicts their position, they just dismiss it as fake news. There's nothing left to talk about with them. The only thing we can do is organize and beat them. So here's my question. Who have you talked to today? Who have you mobilized? Who have you pushed to register to vote? Who have you registered to vote today? If you didn't do it today because it was a holiday, let's do it tomorrow, because we've got to beat these sons of bitches, and we've got to beat them bad. See you next time.
The Benjamin Dixon Show is only possible with listener support. Go to www.thebenjamindixonshow.com to register for our blog, join the Progressive Army, and support The Benjamin Dixon Show. It's Ben Dixon! If you like this episode, be sure to share, like, and subscribe.
Consider becoming a Patreon. Go to www.patreon.com/The BPD Show and support The Benjamin Dixon Show.